Well, hello everybody and welcome. I'm Peter Goldstein, founder at We Did It Health, and I am so glad that you're joining us as we're launching our community, our passion pods. So our passion pods are places to amplify and synergize on your passion. And let me tell you a little bit about my story first. And I'd like to share that I believe that we have at least two very important things in common. And one of them is that we are plant based, vegan, whole foods plant based. Some part of that global vegan plant based world where we're also passionate about animals and our health and the environment and world hunger. And we know what an important solution this is. The other thing I believe that we have in common is the frustration we have in that we want to see this be a vegan world. We want to see everybody thriving in their health, everybody saving the animal suffering that's so atrocious in all corners of the world in all kinds of ways, and also for the planet and for world hunger. So we are just so frustrated, and that's where my work had rooted in, is in seeing my family, my loved ones, being ill, being overweight, being diabetic, being all kinds of things that they really don't have to be. It's just simply a change of lifestyle, a change of diet. And I was so frustrated in that I just didn't know how to get them to be curious, to take a look at all the evidence and all the facts. So that's what motivated this work. And that's why I hope you're here with us today, is to see about new strategies, new communication skills, so that you too can experience being able to succeed inspiring the people that you care about. So that's our mission. And now what we're doing is we have the history on it. Let me go a little bit into the history on this. Is the first thing I looked to create was the scoreboard. So we have the Million Healthy Life scoreboard, which you can find if you go to we did it health and click on scoreboard. Then please share with us how you're benefiting from being plant-based, so together we can show the world the impact we have on health, on animal compassion, on climate healing, and on world hunger. So that was the first thing that we launched. And then in the process of launching that, I realized how important it is, how core to my vision and mission is, to really get the better skills, the better communication skills, the better strategies, the best curated information, so I can talk to somebody and inspire hopeful curiosity. And with that, we have launched the Plant-Based Thrive and Inspire community, where since October 1st, we've been presenting an expert, a leader in some aspect of the plant-based movement, as well as on interpersonal communications and emotional health. And of course, emotional health is such an important part, because our frustration, we need to find ways not to be frustrated, ways to be able to inspire and not suffer that frustration. So so the Thrive and Inspire community is a free community where you can participate in these talks, where you can watch us on YouTube, where we're constantly streaming our conversations, and also other workshops. Then we are doing mastermind groups and support groups throughout. Well, today I am really honored and really happy to be launching the Passion Pods as part of that community. So the Thrive and Inspire community is being structured in groups. And the groups that we're structuring with, we're calling Passion Pods. And we're looking to have Passion Pods in all aspects of a plant-based lifestyle, be it something specifically health related, be it about parents and children, be it about emotional thriving, be it about diabetes, be it about retirement, about how do we inspire our life partners to change lifestyle. So all aspects. And I am so happy to share with you that today we have the opportunity to bring you two of the Passion Pod leaders for the pods that we're currently launching. And I would like to welcome, first of all, Dr. Angela Crawford, psychologist who has written our ebook. So our free gift to you and everybody else is the book written by Dr. Crawford, 7 best practices to inspire friends and loved ones to be plant-based. And of course, that ebook is yours once you answer the simple one-question survey at wedidit.health scoreboard. So with that, I'd like to bring Dr. Crawford on and ask her to tell you about herself, her work, and her passion pod.
Well, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you, Peter. I'll first share a little background. I'm a psychologist, and my work, for many years has been psychotherapy, helping people with trauma, stress, medical issues to heal, to be their best in mind, body, and spirit. And, first, about 16 years ago, I became vegetarian. And what really awoken me to start by being a vegetarian and then later vegan was, first I learned actually about meat processing plants and the treatment of workers actually in those processing plants, many of whom were immigrants, many who didn't have a lot of economic power to make other choices in their work, and who I became aware of just the very kind of unjust conditions that many of them worked in. That made me start thinking about how my food got to me in general. And that led to me thinking about the animals. I realized if I'm upset about how the workers are treated, what do I think about the animals in this whole process? And that led me to read all the books in my library about vegetarianism and veganism, to buy some plant-based cookbooks and actually learn to cook, because I was not a cook before then. I ate a lot of comfort foods and convenience foods and thought I had to have meat or dairy to survive. I grew up in the Midwest of the United States, and that's what we're taught there. And so kind of the farm belt of our nation. So as I'm reading and I'm learning, one, about the treatment of animals, and I'm learning about the health aspects of what we eat, and that, Dean Ornish had shown we could reverse heart disease with a plant-based diet. And I have such a strong family history of heart disease, so all of that just led to me embracing, first going vegetarian, and then as I kept diving in deeper, eventually vegan. And when I became vegan, I just knew that I'd learned enough by then to know our world was in a not good place, and a lot of it relates to what we eat. I really came to realize that how we eat affects all the things that Peter mentioned earlier, our climate change, and how that's affecting our environment, human health, mental health, and just learning the vast numbers of animals, being slaughtered, and just all the ways that animals are exploited and harmed, through the products, quote unquote, and other things that we consume as human beings. I just realized it was so vast that I really needed to bring my profession in some way to help this movement. And so I began to explore the different ways I wanted to do that, and one of the ways is that I'm actually researching a book right now about actually the positive transformations that go with being plant-based, and vegan. So many people think it's deprivation. But what we're finding is that actually so many of us that adopt a plant-powered vegan lifestyle, we actually thrive, and physically, emotionally, and spiritually, because what we eat and what we ingest affects us, on those levels. So, and, when we're compassionate human beings, and yet we're living in a way that's not honoring that compassion fully, that harms us too. So I just came to see that there's, it's important for people to make that connection, that what we eat affects us on a mental health level as well. And so that was part of my interest in the book. And I guess the secondary interest is that I also really want those of us who are plant-based or vegan to thrive emotionally, because sometimes it's not easy being the forerunner of a movement. When your family or loved ones are not eating the way you do, or your community is not eating the way you do, it's hard sometimes to be that person on the front lines, being willing to either just simply be vegan in a non-vegan world, much less if you're an advocate or activist, or someone trying to help others. So that's kind of my background. And that's actually how I became involved with We Did It, as Peter saw something that I'd posted on LinkedIn about my research and saw like, oh, he's the chief synergy officer of We Did It. He saw that there's a connection here, that I, was interested in supporting people to have, not only a healthy vegan lifestyle, but also how do we inspire and empower others towards this lifestyle? And what are the ways we can do it that are actually effective? Because shaming and blaming does not really lead to change. So how do we communicate in ways that are more empowering and inspiring? And so that's kind of how I started to get involved with We Did It. And so leading into now the Passion Pod, as Peter mentioned, there will be a variety of different Passion Pods. They're a way to have community and connection with others who share your specific passions, because even though we may all be plant-based or moving in that direction, if you're not yet there, we have different reasons for it. Sometimes it's more for health, sometimes it's more for animal well-being, sometimes it's more for the climate. And then within all that, there's all these different interests that we have, that the Passion Pods can help us connect with people that share our specific interests, and also have resources that we can take out to those around us that we want to inspire and empower. So the Passion Pod that I will be, involved with relates to this whole topic of emotionally thriving as a vegan or plant-based person, and self-care. Because in order for us to inspire others, we have to be our best selves. And sometimes that gets forgotten, because we want so much to have this world be a more compassionate and healthy place. And Peter mentioned the frustration that we sometimes feel when others aren't maybe getting the connections that we've gotten. I know I've felt that myself, like early on, once I became first vegetarian and then vegan, I was just at first like, why can't other people see, what they're doing to their health through what they eat, and the animals suffering? But I came to realize, it's a complex process how we make change in our lives in general. And this particular change, I came to realize through Melanie Joy's work and other leaders like her, that there's a whole lot of conditioning going on that's led us to eat the way we eat. And it's not always easy to break through that. Want to support us through the Passion Pod of, emotionally thriving as vegans, as plant-based people, so that we can be more effective then in how we inspire and empower others. So, the Passion Pods are just in the early stages of development, so we're discovering what they're going to exactly look like, but they are a way to connect on topics like this so that we can support one another and have resources to go out and inspire others as well. So I don't know, Peter, is there anything else you'd want me to add to that, or?
You know what? That's beautiful, and I love your work. It's so important, and the passion pods. So the passion pods are to support ourselves, each other, to synergize, and also to be. It's so important that we have the resources that we can inspire other people. So with all that, you're doing amazing things, Dr. Crawford, and so appreciate and so honored to have you be part of the launch of the passion pods, and to be our one of our founding passion pods, and we look forward to serving so many people together. Thank you.
Sure, thanks.
And so with that, we'd like to bring on Trisha Shields, and she's the founder of Compassion Rising. And
Peter, you're frozen.
Okay, it looks like we're back. Sorry about that. Can you hear me, Trisha? Can you hear me?
Now I
So we,
can.
oh, beautiful. So I'd like to welcome Trisha, a founder of Compassion Rising, with incredible passion and working with families and children. So we all need support with families and children, and Trisha's doing amazing things, and she'll lead our passion pod. I know I look forward to having access to her pod and for strategies. I have grandchildren. I see daycares. I see schools all the time, and I really look forward to having Trisha as a resource so I can inspire others to take care of our children and grandchildren and to help them with a healthy lifestyle. So welcome, Trisha. Please tell us about yourself and your work and your pod.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Peter. So grateful to be here. And yeah, so, I'll just tell a little about my story. I have been vegan for about 16 months now. And my going vegan was quite the awakening. I happened to see a video called Dairy is Scary, which I'm sure many are familiar with. And being a mother and seeing what the mother cows were enduring and going through in the dairy industry, it happened for me with a snap. I came home. We had already kind of stopped. I have young children. I have an 11-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. And my husband, backing up a little bit, had already kind of came to me a few months prior and said, I don't think I want to eat animals anymore. He had seen just some British rapper talking about it, and that kind of did it for him. It's funny to think of, what does it for people. And then my best friend of 22 years has been vegan for about 6 years. And so it's always kind of been around in the background. But it was watching this video that led to that huge shift and what I call my awakening. It started a process of change that I can't really put into words. I currently own an in-home childcare program. I've owned it for almost 4 years now in May. And at the time, it was not a vegan program, obviously, but this happened over a Christmas break. And immediately I reached out to all my parents that I care for their children and said, when you come back, this is a vegan program. And I gave them, some guidance and some different resources to try to get them to see why I was making this choice. None of them left, luckily, and I still have my daycare going on right now behind the scenes while I'm building Compassion Rising. But with that, it kind of led to me wanting to do more. I had this really big sense of purpose, and I felt I got to do more. Where do vegan families take their children, and how devastating that must be to take your children, drop them off somewhere where that this childcare program may not have the resources or understanding or have morals or values that you share. And as someone who was going through this process, I couldn't imagine that. So I really felt this push to do more. And that was where the spark of my business, Compassion Rising, started. And from there, it was just growth. Different things started happening. In a nutshell, Compassion Rising offers an empathy-based curriculum through Think Equal, who I've partnered with. She's in the UK. Leslie Udwin is the founder of Think Equal. I've also partnered with amazing vegan experts, including Dr. Crawford, Dr. Lee Ettinger, Dr. William Tuttle, Dr. Slush Rao. I have a vegan yoga meditation expert, Becky Shuttleworth, out of the UK. She does children's yoga and meditation. So we're covering all the aspects of mindfulness. I have an eco-conscious expert, Angie Ringler, and she has the store Tangie's products, and it's all, sustainable, non-plastic products. So I wanted to really cover all the branches of the tree, so to speak, where we're covering, and then, Dr. Leah Ettinger is a vegan pediatrician. So we're doing health, eco-consciousness, mindfulness, yoga, meditation is part of the mindfulness, the psychology part, and then climate and things of that nature. So I just really wanted to have this credibility of these amazing experts that people can come to my platform and glean off of these people that have already made a big difference in the world. So that was a big part of it. We also offer a community where parents, families, new vegan families, or families that have been vegan for a while can come and feel a community. For me, when I went vegan, that was really huge. I was in shock at all the things that had been hidden from me my whole life, living in this social conditioning, thinking that, we're just eating these animals. And I didn't even think of them as animals. You think of them as meat. It's just this cognitive dissonance, and I've always loved animals, but I definitely didn't want to see what was happening to them. And once that connection was made, it was just, there was no going back. I always say I'll eat rocks before I eat another animal in my life. And that has to do also with, the products that we use in our home. We don't wear animals, anything like that. So it was just a really big awakening. The first time I saw the passion pods, actually, I was in search of community. I think a lot of times what we don't do when we go vegan, or what some people don't do and they end up going back, is not looking for community. We find out the truth. We're in a state of dystopia, as Dr. Claire Mann says, or that depression that vegans feel. We're in that state, and then, we can't take it. So we just go back to our old ways because that's easier. And as humans, and especially in the society we live in today, we want easy, we want fast, we don't want change. And so you see a lot of people going back, even though it's against their morals and values. So for me, I hopped right into doing activism with Anonymous for the Voiceless and PETA and DXE because I felt community there. I was meeting like-minded vegans that were looking for the same thing. And then I was looking for community, and I found you, Peter, and we did it Health. And that was a great resource because I then got involved with the plant-based ambassador program and did the summit and became a plant-based ambassador, which was an amazing experience. And that was really the community I needed. So when we talked, or when I was, invited to do the passion pods, I was first of all honored, but second of all, I just really felt a calling to this because it helped me so much realize how much we need community in those times, and how much living in a non-vegan world, we need these things right now. We need to feel like we're not alone, like we're making a difference, and like the choices we're making on a daily basis matter. So the main focus of the Passion Pod that I'm leading is going to be based on children and families, and offering the support that I felt I needed when I went vegan that I didn't necessarily find in the exact way of a child or family community. I found community, but this is really zooming in on those families that maybe they're vegan and they're having a baby, and now we're bringing a vegan child into a non-vegan world. Like, how do I deal with that? Or, for me, I have a family and a husband, I own a daycare. How do I handle going vegan in a non-vegan world when it's all around me all the time? Also, just really touching on emotional intelligence in children. I have a 5-year-old. It's a whole nother world with him. And sometimes I just don't know what to do when he's in a fit of tantrum or he's very opinionated. So having a space, not only as a vegan, but also as a parent, that we can discuss these topics. Another area I really would love to, touch on is all the branches of, what I'm working on in Compassion Rising: eco-consciousness, mindfulness, empathy, compassion, humane education. That's going to be a part of my platform as well. We'll probably even touched on, different plant-based treats and stuff like that. Just anything that really has to do with children. And obviously I'm open to just whatever. That's what I needed. So my purpose in leading this Passion Pod is really to think back to what I needed when, as a mother, as a wife, as a business owner. What did I need when I found this whole new world. It's literally like being dropped on another planet, and we need community. It's like speaking another language, and nobody speaks your language. So it's like finding the community that speaks that language with you, and that's super important to me. So that's kind of going to be just a basis. And as Dr. Crawford mentioned, you know, as we grow and we get more people in these spaces, we'll be open to change and seeing what the needs of families are, or what they need for their children and things of that nature. I think that this passion pod is going to be really important to others for the reasons I mentioned before, just finding your space, finding your safe place, finding your sanctuary, and just knowing that, you know, gosh, I've had a hard day. I've been out in the world, and, you know, there's unconsciousness, what I call it, everywhere. And I'm going to come into this pod and feel at home, which is how I felt being a part of We Did It and being a part of the communities that I've had to get involved with. I've had to take the action and the steps so that I didn't feel isolated and alone. And with creating Compassion Rising, I hope to offer that. And also with being a part of this amazing community and these passion pods, which is just a brilliant idea. So I'm so grateful, Peter. You're someone who was at the very beginning of my journey. You introduced me to my business coach, who's helped me, you know, take my idea and make it a reality. And so I'm just so grateful for you, and I'm just so honored to be asked to be a part of this. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you for all that, Trisha, and I'm so honored to be working with you and collaborating and synergizing with you to make this a better world. Your contribution is so amazing, so important. It is about our children, and I'm so honored to be able to provide a platform where you yourself can thrive and carry forward and be able to do your work, so to support you in your work. And that's what we're about. So that's exactly what we're about. So if you're, whether what we call you're a grassroots ambassador, which is how we refer to the consumers, and we also refer to a group as professional ambassadors, the professional ambassadors being people who are offering some kind of work in this space. We label professional ambassadors, and together we're all ambassadors, and together we're all looking to support each other and to thrive and inspire. So the community is thrive and inspire. We're looking to thrive, and certainly part of our thriving is to know that we are able to be very effective with people we care about. So supporting ourselves, supporting each other who are already plant-based, and then being able to grow the global plant-based vegan movement. So thank you, Trisha. You're doing amazing things. And I look so much forward to all the stuff you're going to do. And so a little bit about what it is that we're doing. The importance of the passion pods is because we have this greater community of plant-based thrive and inspire community at We Did It Health, and the way we can leverage everybody and synergize everybody is to have these passion pods. So whatever your passion is, come and join a passion pod. If you're a leader, if you don't see a passion pod to add your leadership, your input, your voice to, we'll be happy to look at starting a new one. I'm expecting we'll eventually, in a matter of years, a few years, we'll have a couple hundred passion pods. So you name it, whatever it is that will support people to thrive and inspire others. Our mission is to provide a platform, a large community, and welcome everybody and everybody's voices, so we can synergize and amplify everybody's voices together. So I would love to hear more from Angela and Trisha, and I would love for you all to post your questions and your comments. And I will just take a moment to say that we actually had Sam Roblet scheduled to speak to us about a third pod that we're launching, which is about animals, animal compassion, animal justice, and she has been an advocate and a leader in the vegan movement in England, and she unfortunately she went for an activism event, and on her way back to be on this podcast, uh, she had a car accident, and she messaged me that she's okay, but they're waiting for the police, and just sidetracked and wasn't available to join us, unfortunately. But you can connect with her and with the Passion Pod on animal welfare on We Did It That Health, and by reaching out to us. And with that, I will add that we have a meeting coming up on Thursday at 2 o'clock Eastern time, and you can see that posted on Facebook, where you can express what it is that you're passionate about, and learn about the ins and outs of Passion Pods. So thank you for that, Sam. And I'm so sorry you're not with us, and I know you're with us in spirit, and everybody will be able to hear from you at another time. Uh, we have a comment from Anne. Uh, and I expect that Anne will be contributing at some point, and maybe forming a passion pod. Her passion, one of her many passions, she's a psychotherapist, and one of her many passions is conversations with a friendly vegan. And so she's very focused on doing work where she can show up at an event and put up a sign inviting people to have a conversation with a friendly vegan, and then have a very friendly, empowering, caring conversation, and help plant seeds of curiosity, so that other people will look at considering this lifestyle that benefits themselves and the whole world in so very many ways. I'm not seeing questions. Does anybody have any questions you'd like to share with us that we could answer for you? If not, I'd love to open up the conversation. Angela and Tricia, please contribute. Anything that's on your mind that you'd like to share, that you feel would benefit people to hear about our passion pods. And of course, this is recorded and available on YouTube, so it's not just about a live conversation. This is a long-term invitation for anybody watching this video to join us at We Did It That Health in our community.
Well, a couple things. One, I just wanted to add about Anne, in the conversations with the friendly vegan. She is really inspiring, and she did a great presentation a month or two ago, right? For We Did It, so if you look at the YouTube channel for We Did It Health, and look at the live videos, she has an awesome presentation about, communication as a vegan, and how to, I guess, kind of be aware of your own journey as a vegan, so that when you're trying to help and inspire others, you can do it in a such more effective way. So I highly recommend going back to check that video out, and just Anne's, website and everything. And, not only does she do conversations with the friendly vegan, she also is involved with the post-animal use world visioning kind of process too. Like, what will a world look like when we're not using animals in this way? So thank you, Anne, for what you do. And the other question, Peter, that I think might come up, because maybe some people listening now or in the future are not already part of the We Did It Health community, or maybe they are but haven't been as involved recently. How do they, first of all, get involved with We Did It Health to begin with? And then how do they learn more about the passion pods and engage in the passion pods? What steps would they take?
Well, thank you for that question. I have just posted a link. We have a form that we ask people to fill out, to let us know what their passions are and that they want to be involved. So take a look at that. It's a Google Forms. Please fill it out, and we will be in touch with you, and we will invite you to our meetings. We will invite you to offer a proposal for a passion pod. And certainly, if you go to We Did It Health, you can learn more about our work there. We have a calendar of events. We have lots of events you'd be interested in. And for now, we are on Facebook with the vegan and whole food plant-based ambassadors Facebook group. So please check us out on the Facebook group or We Did It Health Facebook page. So those would be ways to connect with us. And if you'd like to reach out to me personally, I welcome your emails. It's Peter G at we did it health, and I'm posting that now. Peter G at we did it health.
And I'll add, I know the passion pods, are somewhat evolving because they're new, but there's a lot of different ways to be involved in them from my understanding. One is that you can just simply participate in the ones that interest you because there'll be a chance to, join in a chat and about the conversation, like if you're interested in family and children, you might have children of your own. You can just be a member in, Trisha's Passion Pod and join in the conversation and gain from the resources and the support. Or you can be a leader, if there's something that you specifically have the passion and vision to help with guiding the conversation and sharing resources, either as a professional leader or as sort of a community moderator that helps guide the conversation. So there's different levels to be involved in. And, and if you reach out and fill out the form that Peter shared, they will reach out and help you to sort out which way you want to be involved. So, or if you reach out to Peter's email, they can help you what's your next step to be involved,
Yeah, beautiful. So Shennesy shared a resource that she has available, and I put that up on the screen. Thank you so much for that, and look forward to having you involved and maybe leading a passion pod. And so these kinds of resources and sharing these kinds of resources is what we're about. So come and share, and as a leader, as a professional, when you share your work, our intention is to have ambassadors pick up on that, not only to benefit for themselves, but also to use it as a resource to inspire other people. And then as we inspire other people, then more people will be living and benefiting from the lifestyle. They'll want to join the community, and the community will grow, and we can support each other. And I imagine that probably some of the people who are newest need this community a whole lot, because and this has been part of the conversation this morning, Trisha and Angela both talking about it, but I look forward to the time where somebody who's brand new, they'll say, wow, this is exactly what I need. I'm getting all the support I need initially. Plus, I want to shout this off the rooftops. I want to tell everybody how I'm benefiting, how they can benefit too, but I don't know where to start. Well, as we'll have those resources, we'll make it easy for everybody. So as a professional, as a passionate ambassador, this is the place to empower the people who are just new to the lifestyle, whichever lifestyle it is that they're doing, vegan or whole food plant-based, new to it, because and they so excited, so passionate, so wanting to share it, and we can serve them as they're getting involved with the lifestyle and growing on their journey with this lifestyle. So thank you for that. So I see we have Rebecca Allen, who's sharing that her journey she likes to share dairy is scary, and that's a big thing. Now Rebecca's we look forward to having a passion pod with Rebecca. Her work is also involves something that's part of climate healers, and that's actually food healers. So Rebecca and her group are doing amazing work, feeding the world and advocating, creating plant-based kitchens and converting kitchens, public kitchens, food kitchens, into converting to a healthy vegan diet. So they have all kinds of recipes and all kinds of initiatives to feed the world with affordable, healthy food. So there's another passion pot to look forward to. And I can't tell you how excited I am with all the passion pots that are coming together, and how I can't even imagine right now. I'm so excited how synergizing everybody and everybody sharing with each other will really make a difference. We'll be able to see a healthy, happy, well-fed vegan world, and which is our vision and our hope, and together we'll do that. And so the passion pods, we have a passion pod that's going to be forming around retirement, whole life retirement. So all aspects of our lifestyles, everything from all the diseases, all the challenges, all the lifestyle challenges. This will be the place to support each other. And I'm so honored and so excited to be part of this, and to see this coming together.
I will say, Peter, I love what Rebecca's doing. One of the things I notice, it's hard not to notice, but my son's in a public elementary school. I'll actually be homeschooling both of our children next year, but I go have lunch with him every Friday, and it's a really big problem what's happening with the public schooling system, and the USDA is just feeding them. They, just giving them incentives to serve milk and crap. Basically, it's all crap. But when I'm there, I have to almost just not look, because these children are being fed portions that are an adult couldn't eat, and of course, it's all animal secretions and byproducts, and they throw it away. And we're living in a world of starvation and famine, and this isn't even being taught in the schools. These children are, they have one teacher to 100 children in this lunchroom, so these teachers can't even monitor what's going on, let alone probably, I'm sorry, but they probably don't care. It's just again one of those cognitive dissonance things, turning a blind eye, but the amount of food being thrown away, and that's a huge problem as well. So having people that really care about the food system as a whole is huge. And I've met some other really great ambassadors of change that have created foundations through my journeys, trying to do something about that. But that's really important, and it's really a huge problem. And it's one of the reasons I'm homeschooling my kids, is just taking them out of societal's conditioning and bringing them home. They know, I talk to my children. They're very, very vegan activist children. They're at school telling kids where the food came from, and having the teacher tell me, "Oh, your son told this kid the cheese stick hurt the mother cow." I'm like, "Well, it did." So it's stuff like that. But I think that also, bringing this awareness and having even plant-based food be offered at the schools. It's not even offered. So thank you, Rebecca, for your work. And it's just a really big part of what needs to happen. There's so many aspects of change. So having these passion pods with different people doing different things is really important. And then taking action is really important. So
Thank you for that, Trisha. So we have Ken with Wisdom House, and I mentioned before about whole health retirement, and that's Ken's baby, and they're with Wisdom House in Lima, Peru. So they welcome people to create their transition to rejuvenate at their facility, but they'll be leading on the entire topic of whole health retirement. And we look forward to that passion pod and those conversations, and all the experts and all the resources and all the conversations. His passion pod will be creating and synergizing and offering and sponsoring. And yes, and we're hearing from Rebecca with food healers, and Shanacy, thank you so very much. I am so honored it's a brilliant idea, because other people are coming on board, and I'm so honored that it is an idea that's getting the traction. I'm honored to be guided to be doing this, and well, I'm just overwhelmed. I can't even express how joyful, how honored I feel, and how much I appreciate. I'm full of appreciation for Angela and Trisha and for all of you. It's amazing. It's such a beautiful journey we're all undertaking, and I just have full certainty that we will be making a difference in the world together. Um, Boy, we have yes, thank you, Rebecca. We have a very extensive comment. Um, I'm not that great at reading. Trisha, would you read this, please?
Yeah, she's Rusan Bucci. I know many caring teachers and have been a teacher myself. And in most school systems, teachers don't have the authority to affect something like the lunch program. Yeah, absolutely. They may try to use their voice in that setting, but it's considered outside their area of expertise and responsibility. These conversations need to happen with superintendents and principals. Absolutely. And I actually went to a like a meeting with our superintendent for my county and wanted to voice we need plant-based offerings, and they shut me up. They wouldn't allow me to talk. They told me to email them about it. They didn't want that to be brought up in this meeting. Being the persistent mother that I am, I said, no, I want to speak about this. I have something I want to say, and I promise you're going to hear me. And so they did let me talk after roundabouts with the moderator, and I just said, it's a discrimination of sorts to not offer plant-based food to children that don't want to eat animal products. And the superintendent herself said, well, you need to talk to the nutrition person at your school. So they're just passing it around. They don't even want to, if it doesn't, if it's not on their agenda, if it doesn't suit them in any way, they don't want to hear about it. And they're making money off the government. So it's just this roundabout, but absolutely the teachers really don't. And that's the sad thing is that's why I say they have to turn a blind eye, because a lot of them don't have that authority to do things like that. So the whole system is broken and needs a lot of work. Thank you.
That's beautiful, Trisha. And that's why all of our work, everything we're doing, we're coming at it from the grassroots level. And there's lots of great organizations, PCRM, nutritionfacts.org, all the magnificent vegan organizations, lots of people doing amazing work at the higher levels. But what I believe, and I think we all agree, we really need to do here is come from the grassroots level, so that we can plant these seeds. And I think if we're expecting to have a brief conversation and convince somebody instantly, that's just not how it works. But Trisha, what you did, you've planted a beautiful seed. And yes, the answer was no at the moment, but I promise you there's people who will think about it and remember what happened. And so together we will plant these seeds. We don't want to go to where, well, we defeated, I'm going to give up. We need to just patiently keep planting these seeds, keep going to the school systems, keep doing all the things that we're doing. And Trisha, I'm so look forward to perhaps in your pod, perhaps other pods, so we can collect these strategies, collect the success stories, inspire each other to plant these seeds. And that's what we're doing here together. And thank you for sharing that. And I just know the conversations we're going to have, the threads, the resources, the success stories. Well, I went to my school system, and guess what? I was heard. And here's the strategy I took on. I had a strategy to make friends with certain people. I had the strategy to be of service in this way and that way. Here's my strategy. Here's what worked, and therefore we can share these together and keep planting the seeds, and eventually most of these seeds, if not all of them, will germinate, will grow, will bloom, and we will be changing the world together with all this. So thank you for all that, and thank you everybody for being so on board. And we need all your help. We need everything you can do. Launching something this big takes a lot of work. We have been working very hard to get to this point, and we have so much more work ahead of us. So please, I invite everybody, if you're passionate, if this makes sense to you, if this is something you want to see happening, more seeds planted in more places, definitely please join us. Please be a member of the community. Start a passion pot on the things you're most passionate about and contribute to the conversations that you are passionate about. Thank you. So looking at what other questions and comments we have. So Anne, if we can pique curiosity and then be a resource as questions arise, I think we can move in the right direction. And that's exactly what we're doing. And that's exactly what I'm asking everybody to pitch in so we can do this, because together we can bring together resources, and the passion pods are the way to focus the resources on any specific topic. Whatever that specific topic is, the passion pod will be the keeper of the resources, and the strategies will be the place to create the events, to create the conversations, to create the networking on that topic. Shenesee's asking, where can you see the passion pods we already have? And today we're launching the concept of passion pods. So you can participate and I think you have filled out the form. If you haven't filled out the form, please do so, and we'll be in touch. We're launching the passion pods, and the passion pods will be on We Did It Health. Currently, we have a technology team working on the technology for a community platform where we can all have profiles and groups and conversations, and that's not in place yet. And we're looking forward to that being available in the very near future. And with that said, that's only one element of what passion pods are about, because the passion pods are responsible for the community, for the conversations, and for the events. So we're launching passion pods. Our June events, and maybe in a second, Angela, you could talk a little bit about that. Our June events around self-care. So far, we've had monthly themes since October. We've had monthly themes about. We did Thrive Through the Holiday series. We did Repairing Relationships in January, and Communities in March. Coming up, we have in April, we're going to, for Earth Month, we're featuring everything environment related. May is going to be our health month. So our topic is going to be all about health, and we expect to have doctors doing presentations. And then June will be about self-care and health. And Angela, please.
Emotionally thriving.
Emotionally thriving, excuse me. Would you like to say a few things about it?
Sure. So as Peter mentioned, each month We Did It it's had a theme, and so most of the talks of that month on the Saturday, presentations relate to that theme. So in June, the theme is about emotionally thriving, and there'll be talks on different aspects of that, how we thrive emotionally, how we take good care of ourselves as plant-based vegan people. And so we're working on setting up, some of the talks for that month, but they will be inspiring and hopefully help you to feel empowered in your vegan journey and advocacy, and also how you inspire those around you, because you're in a good place.
Beautiful. So Shenesee, we do have a calendar. You can look at the calendar for all the upcoming events. You can look on our Facebook groups. We have some masterminds, emotional support, and emotionally thriving mastermind groups. We have special presentations, other workshops For instance, we had a series of workshops on food from a food engineer's perspective, all the ins and outs of processed foods, how to read labels, what the truth is about our food. So we're doing all those kinds of workshops and events, and you can currently find them, all about them, on the Facebook page, the Facebook group. Vegan and WFPB Ambassadors is the group that, if you're not a member of, you'd want to be a member of. And if you're watching this recording, as most people will be in the future, as a recording on YouTube, we did it that health from our website. We'll have our community platform finished in the near future, and you'll be able to find the passion pods, the groups. So you'll be invited to join the community. It's a free community, and there you'll be able to participate in the passion pods that will be set up there. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Anything else? I'm sorry Sam's not with us. I know she's, just use your imagination from what you've heard, and everything that has to do with animal compassion, animal justice, animal care. There'll be passion pods and conversations and presentations on any and all of it. And of course, with that said, I missed it. February with Valentine's Day was our month featuring loving animals, and we had some amazing keynote speakers and workshops, and many of these talks you can find on our YouTube channel. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the wealth of recordings we have there. And we have some wonderful recordings about animal justice and animal compassion, loving animals, on the YouTube channel. Please go there. They'll always be available, and we love to have your engagement on them. And Marakita says, I'm looking forward to June's speakers. Thank you, Marakita, empowerment coach. So empowerment is really what we're all about, is empowering ourselves to be happy and thriving, and empowering ourselves and others to do the same. All right. Well, we're coming to the top of the hour. Ladies, either of you have anything else you'd like to add? Anybody else have questions? Please type them in the comments.
Just grateful to be a part of this, and it's so excited to meet amazing vegans and build community. It's really, things are hard in the world right now. We need this more than ever. We need each other more than ever, and we really need to lean in on each other instead of isolating. So even if it's uncomfortable, take uncomfortable action. Join us, whether you're just popping in to chat, get what's on your mind off of your heart. We're just really excited to be a part of this, but thank you, Peter, for providing this space.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what we need is what has been already mentioned earlier, is community with others that share our passion and our mission. And we need a sense of purpose so that we feel hope for the future that we can create. And, being part of this community and the passion pods, I think, is a great way to have that hope and that purpose.
And the animals need us. They need us to do this for them. So it's just super important all the way around. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Beautiful. Well, I can't put it any better myself. Thank you all so very, very much. Thank you, Angela and Tricia, for being here. And thank you, everybody, for participating live and for watching this as a future recording. And thank you all for looking us up, for participating, for engaging, for supporting all of us, and for being part of us supporting you and creating a healthy, happy, well-fed vegan world, because that's an absolute truth. We are coming to that. It's It is the truth. It is the solution for these very important challenges. It's just an absolute truth. As much as if you drop a ball, it will fall to the ground. If somebody eats plant-based, they will save animal suffering. They will improve their health, impact the environment in a positive way, and impact world hunger in a positive way. So it's an absolute truth. I know we will be getting there. And thank you all for being part of this community where together we will help that come about. So thank you so much. Namaste, vegan. Bye bye.